Hello, welcome to the Steer channel. I'm Dr. Anjali Gokan, a pediatrician from Mumbai. Today we will talk about clinical evaluation of breast swellings. Swellings of the breast can present at any age, from newborn to the geriatric age. To diagnose the cause of the swelling, we will need clues from symptoms and signs. Knowing the age of the patient and the symptoms like presence of pain, whether it's a localized or generalized swelling, whether there are any changes in breast size, shape, or in the skin, whether there are any nipple changes or nipple discharge. All these will help in the diagnosis. Some breast conditions are seen at certain ages. For example, newborns can have a physiological swelling of the breast due to maternal hormones passed through breast milk. This is seen from day 3 of life and can persist up till 2 to 4 weeks. Girls at age 8 or 9 years can have the beginning of breast development, which may initially start unilaterally when the girl and her parents mistake it for something serious. Similarly, adolescent gynecomastia is seen in some boys at age 12 to 16 years due to imbalance of hormones and an excess secretion of estrogen. This physiological swelling generally settles in 2 years. Adults on certain medications can also have gynecomastia, and asking for medication history is important. In the geriatric age, gynecomastia is seen due to decreasing testosterone levels. Breast swelling in a young woman may be the first indication of pregnancy even before her first missed period. In the postpartum period, swelling and fullness of the breast on the third day is common due to the normal letdown reflex. Now let us look at some pathological breast swellings. Fibroadenoma of the breast is common in young adult women ages 15 to 35 years, whereas breast cancer is common in ladies 50 years of age and above. Breast cancers are also rarely seen in elderly males at ages 60 to 70 years. Pain as a symptom is also common with some breast swellings. Mild pain or discomfort along with tenderness and nipple sensitivity is seen in adolescent girls and boys. Pain and swelling associated with pregnancy is described as tightening of the breast. During lactation, milk engorgement and breast swelling can be painful. Mastitis in newborns and lactating mothers are painful conditions. Fibroadenoma and breast cancers may be painless swellings and are generally accidentally detected. Does the patient complain of a localized or a generalized swelling? A swelling in a particular quadrant of the breast helps us think of an abscess, a fibroadenoma, or a malignant tumor. Another localized swelling we have to consider is an axillary tail of the breast, which may become prominent during lactation. Generalized swellings could be physiological, like in newborns and adolescents. It could also be due to mastitis when the entire breast may get inflamed and swollen. Certain conditions cause nipple discharge. Milky discharge may be seen when the newborn breast is enlarged and also seen in the last 2 trimesters of pregnancy. Mastitis and abscess will present with purulent nipple discharge, whereas a patient with cancer may have serous or a bloody nipple discharge. Constitutional symptoms like weight loss and appetite may be seen with infections or in cancer. Breast cancer is more common in nulliparous women and in those who have not breastfed their infants. So, eliciting this history is important. And finally, family history is important as some breast cancers may have a genetic inheritance. While examining the patients, it's important to keep the following in mind. Look for equality of the breast size and shape, the color of the skin over the breast, its texture, is there any presence of dimpling, what is the nipple shape and position, is there any nipple discharge, what is the shape, size, what is the number and consistency of the swellings, what is its mobility from surrounding tissue, and is there any warmth or tenderness. The breast swelling of newborns and adolescents will feel like a disc under the nipple and it may be slightly tender. With mastitis, the breast tissue will be warm, tender, and may feel tense. An abscess will be localized and will have characteristic findings. A fibroadenoma is generally a small 2 to 3 centimeters non-tender mobile lump which may increase in size premenstrually. At times, fibroadenomas may be multiple, and at times it may be even a single large one. But the most important thing is to look for red flag signs for a malignant breast lump, which are unequal positions of the breast, changes in skin color over the affected breast, orange peel appearance of the skin, dimpling of the skin, the nipple may be pulled in, and there may be serous or bloody discharge from the nipple. On palpating such a mass, it will be localized to any quadrant, will feel firm to hard, will have irregular margins, and will be fixed to the surrounding tissue. Investigations are generally needed to rule out malignant changes in a breast lump, and in such a case, mammography and when indicated, core needle biopsy may be needed. Treatment includes a lot of counseling. Parents of newborns with breast swelling need reassurance that this is a physiological process and it will disappear in 2 to 4 weeks. They should be warned of the risk of introducing infection if manipulation to remove milk is attempted. Manipulating a newborn breast should never be done. Adolescent girls and boys need reassurance and guidance about physiological changes in that period. Lactating mothers with mastitis need to be encouraged to keep feeding from the affected breast to keep the milk ducts open and the milk flowing. A breast abscess will need drainage and continued feeding from the affected site after healing. A fibroadenoma has to be followed closely. Malignant growths will need appropriate medical and surgical management. But friends, it's our responsibility also to counsel for prevention of breast cancer by regular screening. And for this, 1, all girls above 18 years should be taught breast self-examination. 2, all women should be advised to do monthly breast self-examination. 3, all women above 45 years should have an annual mammography till the age of 65. And 4, they have to be told to report to a doctor if they find anything abnormal. That's all for today, and keep watching the Steer channel for more such educative videos.